Hello, my friend and viewer, and if someone has passed this video on to you, hello, my friend. This is what I call my LightWalker address. By LightWalker, I mean someone who walks in the light. Back when we started in the beginning, I don't know, what was it, the late 90s maybe, as far as when we all started to really seek and discover inside, we used the term LightWorker. And I call myself a LightWorker, but I've since come to evolve and say that that the light is not work to me. It is not sacrifice. When I'm in my heart, I have endless energy to love and be loved. So I believe in light walking, walking in the light. Now, that said, I think we're in a very exciting time, and I'm giving this address to just kind of put out a formal statement to all the people who live in their hearts and spread light and who are here to help others on that journey, for other people who vibrate and associate with the idea of raising the vibration on Earth. I'm going to give some aspects of astrology and planetary data a little bit later in this little video, but first I'll just speak to what I sense right now. I sense right now that we're in the most important time of our life. In fact, I argue the reason you were born is about to begin. And you may say, oh my goodness, I'm only 15, or holy shift, I'm 75, the reason I was born? Yes, I believe that there is what we call fate on Earth, and fate is that all of our souls, when we incarnated, agreed that we wanted to come together at a certain point in our lifetime and try to achieve something. Now, I've always known that I was born for that moment, and I've actually spent most of my life preparing for that moment and preparing my viewers for that moment. My friend, I believe this is that moment. I believe this is the time where you must reach into your heart and become the best that you are. That you must put down any issues you have with ego or winning or revenge and face your heart, your light, and what you want to do. I will talk about the planetary reasons why, but I believe that humankind is about to go through a huge shift. And it's funny because as we climbed up through the 90s and we approached the Mayan shift in 2012, there was time upon time upon time, rumors on the internet of an apocalypse, of the end, etc. Well, I think it is the end, but I think it's the end of pain, the end of suffering, the end of violence, the end of tyranny, the end of unfairness, the end of all sorts of things, but nothing we should be afraid of. I think it is for you, my friend, the end of your suffering, the end of you living outside your heart, and the end, if those who walk in the light, of putting more stake in what they see versus what they feel. It's time now as light walkers for us to put our faith in our hearts and what our inner self tells us, not necessarily with what we're being told or the propaganda that's being thrown in front of us. Nay, it's time to listen to what Spirit tells you. You have prepared a very long time for this moment, and you have prepared many, many lifetimes for this lifetime. Now I'm going to talk another time about what I believe this is, and I'll talk about what I believe this all is in my personal show that I do 5 days a week on SeriousJoy.tv called Namaste Today. I'm going to do little segments that go much deeper into what I think this time is. But just to underscore, I believe in the next month, the reason that you were born will come to the surface. And you might go, what is that? Well, I think that in this grand shift of humanity, which is really technically beginning right now, so the Mayan shift was that our energy shifted. Now the story is beginning, okay? So the story beginning meaning now that everyone's awake, now that everyone knows who they are, now that everyone knows what their demons are, now that everyone's had a chance to heal their demons, now that everyone's had a chance to do it right over and over again, right meaning according to your heart, not according to the way the world told you to do it. However that is, now we will see if you were correct or not correct, basically. Now we will see if it was, and basically what we have been building up to this lifetime for, I think, many, 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 many lifetimes. And I think that this is the turning point towards the age of Aquarius. That means that this is the moment when humankind decides whether or not humankind wants to live in the light or continue suffering. Now, I believe we've already chosen to live in the light. I believe that, honestly, suffering isn't going to be an option. The only question is, will we have to suffer to get there? We're going to get there because we come from the light and we come from love. And the only reason why we ever choose non-love is so that we can appreciate what love is. So even the people who aren't in the light and who aren't loving, we can appreciate them because they remind us why we chose the light. All right. So in a simple message, my LightWalker address is, my friends, if you trust me and believe in me, then I am telling you it's time to do what you are called to do on earth. It is time to go into your heart and bring out the bright star that you really are. In simple terms, it's time to live in your serious joy. Now, I will explain planetarily real quick why I think this is all happening this month in the month of August. First of all, we have a new moon on the 2nd, and in this new moon, we will be planting the seeds. It's a powerful new moon. 1 month from this new moon is an eclipse. So this is the new moon that sets up for the eclipse, basically. And this new moon also, Mars moves into Sagittarius at that very moment. So Mars in Sagittarius, to me, the story is Sagittarius. The fact that we are facing this all now and coming into the life we were born to live in is because Saturn is in Sagittarius. And you might go, well, Saturn was in Sagittarius, in the 80s. Yes, it was. But Pluto had not been through Sagittarius at that time. So when Saturn was in Sag at that time, it was, let's say, a dirty Sag, okay? We hadn't come to what our Sag principles were privately. Now that Pluto went through Sagittarius, which was basically 1995 to 2010, once it went through Sagittarius, we cleared out our personal beliefs. So now that Saturn is in Sag, this is actually the first time all of our true beliefs have come forward. I think this is why you're seeing a Donald Trump and a Hillary Clinton and all these other different voices. You see the Green Party, you see Bernie's, you see lots of different voices, really, not just the ones that get to run in the end. And all these voices have an idea of the way it should be, which is really us with all the voices who've come to their opinions. So with Pluto and Sag, the Trumps came to their opinion that this is the way the world was. In Pluto and Sag, I came to my opinion about this is the way the world does. Now with Saturn and Sag, and Saturn going direct this month, we're saying, okay, we all have our opinions, we all know who we are, may the best opinion win. So we have kind of a spiritual democracy, let's say, moving forward with Saturn in Sagittarius. So basically, everyone is going to now be campaigning, is a good word, for how things are going to be run. And don't think that it stops with the election, and it can't. Anyone who is part of the Bernie efforts or any of the movements need to continue, because the movement continues for another year and a half and still makes a valid, very powerful difference. That's why it's important for you to come into who you really are right now and go represent the voice you represent in your daily sphere of influence. So the new moon on the 2nd is very powerful, and the story begins with Mars going into Sagittarius. Then we have Saturn direct on the 13th, so Saturn moves direct. It's been quiet for 6 months. The great human story has not really been moving forward for the last 6 months. With all the politics and the bombings and all that stuff, believe it or not part of the official story. And you might go, it matters. Yes, it does matter, but in the end, it won't matter. It was what got us into this moment. It is what set us into this moment. But Saturn direct means now, from the 13th on, it is going to be part of, let's say, the Akashic official record, or the human remembered record, the record we bother to remember. Then we have a lunar eclipse in the high degrees of Aquarius on the 18th. Okay, and this is going to be the fallout of some big plans that people were having. So this will be a plan changing, plans falling apart, and this is really kind of a 2 steps back for 1 step forward. I mean, I go into this in my Megascope monthlies in a lot of detail as far as what this plan is for each of the 12 signs. And my Megascopes are available on my Serious Joy Personal Sensei service, by the way. You can even watch them if you just try. But each of the 12 signs has a big plan falling apart, and I can't go into all 12 right now. Then on the 27th, then basically the sun moves into Virgo. On the 27th, we have our first breakdowns. And then we basically have a vortex shift where we shift into the new vortex, and Mercury goes retrograde at the end of the month. Okay, and there's many other planetary little moments, but I don't want to carry this video out too long. In a nutshell, Jupiter's been in Virgo for nearly a year now, And so this month in August and moving on, you're coming into your heart. You're coming into who you believe you are, what your heart really wants. As soon as you come into that, the sun goes into Virgo, and basically the universe will create that stage. You will find yourself brought to that stage. And from that point, the drama, okay, of the stage begins when Jupiter goes into Libra. I report on that also in my megascopes, but that's when the drama begins. You're coming to stage. You're coming to story. And if you think that by refusing to show up and participate is something you can get away with, nope. That will officially be your response to the story. And this is one of those stories where all of us will be included. Everyone. This is a generational shift, and the story is beginning right now, my friend. Now, just as a little plug, thank you for watching this. Please feel free to share this video with anyone you feel is in the light, needs to know the direction. I do believe that life is going to dramatically change, and if you had plans to do something and be something, you better have it in play by Scorpio, is what Sensei says. I myself am doing we have a little bit of a loud plane here. Just let this pass. I'm letting sound pass now. Thank you for watching this far. I am doing a reading sale in the month of August. I'm going to call my summer blowout sale, and basically I'm making my plans for travel and whatnot through the fall, so I'm selling out for the fall, and when I come back I am going to be more expensive because I'm going to have some new technology out. So if you'd like to have a reading, this is a great opportunity to get one. You'll save $50 on a 1 hour and $25 on a 30-minute. You can book me through the fall, and you'll see my schedule there. This is also an excellent time to sign up with Serious Joy. Serious Joy, you can try for $1.99 basically, and try it for 7 days. I made it super easy to unsubscribe in the software. You just hit unsubscribe, but at least go in there and watch your megascope for that first 7 days. Get an idea of what kind of support I'm offering, because what I offer is extremely unique as far as being there with you, knowing your chart, and constantly reminding you of the important things and only the important things each day in your transition into the light and your transition into your formal role on Earth. I'm here to serve every day, but if I know your AIT and you are a subscriber, I can really serve you to your breakthroughs. Everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a fantastic autumn season. I will most likely be back just before the presidential elections for another LightWalker address. I will be taking this next 2 months heavily developing and releasing my next software edition, and also reading these people who come in at this for this last session I do. Listen to your heart, my friends, and live, love, be.